In this video, I want to talk about how to prepare your bearing plate right before the bridge gets installed. Okay, so at your bridge site, imagine this is the bridge. Well, this is your abutment sitting over here. You already have your bearing plates bolted down. This is just a stack of bearing plates here. These are 12 by 36 inch bearing plates. Yours may be a little different. This is for an 89 foot, anywhere from a 55 foot to a 90 foot long rail car. Bridge deck. Okay, so it doesn't apply to everyone, but if you have what we call the BKCS, which is a bearing kit that goes on the center sill, this is something that you should do to prepare for the delivery and installation. It makes the process go a little easier. So if these are bolted down to your concrete already, so you're going to have the steel plate, you're going to have rubber pad like this here, right, a neoprene pad underneath there, and it's all going to be bolted down. Okay, so this is your concrete. It's ready for the bridge to be set on top of there. Usually what I like to do is go out and start marking where the bridge is going to land. Now typically the bottom side of a 90 foot long rail car is typically about 26 inches. Okay, so if this bearing plate is 36 inches, all right, you can see it's 36 inches here. You mark the center line, that'd be 18 inches, 1'6". And then ideally, here is where 26 inches is going to sit, right? So in an ideal world, that's exactly where your rail car is going to sit, right there. Okay. Now, we don't live in a perfect world, so the likelihood of your rail car perfectly landing right there is pretty slim. It's and you're going to be fighting with it to try to get this thing perfectly lined up. It's very difficult, and that's assuming that your abutments are perfectly square with each other. Sometimes sometimes when you land your bridge, instead of being perfectly square, it may be slightly off. It may be slightly off this way, very slightly off. Okay, so to try to fight with this, especially when you have that 45,000 pounds of steel above your head, and you're trying to get this thing set, and you have this expensive crane sitting around waiting for you. So what I like to do is give myself 1 inch wiggle room. So I'll mark out to 27 inches. Well, I'll mark out from the center line. I'll give myself an extra inch. Okay. So from here to here is 26 inches. But from the outside to outside those other marks, it's 28 inches. Okay. So I'm going to give myself 1 inch of wiggle room here, 1 inch of wiggle room over here. Okay. So when I land the bridge, if I'm within that range, I'll try to get it perfect. I'll try to get it right on the 26 inch mark. This is a 26 inch mark right here. So this is this line here, 26 inch. This line here is a 28 inch mark. Okay. So ideally, I'll try to get the center sill to perfectly line up here, 26 inches. Right there. So I'll try to get it to perfectly land right there. But honestly, that's very difficult, and I've seen that maybe a few times. It's just very rare to get it like balls on perfect right at that measurement. Okay, so if you're within that 28 inch measurement, so if your bridge lands somewhere over here, then you're fine as well. Now, if it does move over here, right? So if you have 28 inch bridge, 26 inch bridge. If you do move it over here, if you're on this hash mark over here, this checkered mark, then you're on this side, your bridge is actually going to land somewhere over here. Okay, so if this side of the bridge is way over here, then this side of the bridge is going to be somewhere over here, which is fine. Okay, so as long as one side lands inside this hash mark, you're going to be perfectly fine. Okay, that's kind of the rule of thumb that I use. I'm going to go let's go look at a rail car real quick, and I'll kind of see if I can make more sense to you. Okay, and here we have this rail car here. We're getting ready to ship on out. Now you'll see here, this is let me get my measuring tape ready. This is where that bearing plate's going to land, and this is, if I measure across, should be 26 inches. Let me see if I can measure it this way. It's 26 inches. I can't hold my tape measure there. 26 inches. Okay, so that's 26 inches going across this way. So your bearing plate's going to be sitting across this way like this. And when you're trying to get that lined up, and you can see how long this bridge is way over there, that's pretty difficult to do. So just try to get it close enough. Use those hash marks at 1 inch plus or minus, and that'll make installation a lot better. Now, once you land this to the steel plate, you can send the crane home, and then we'll come back in and we'll just weld from the bridge to the steel plate. Piece of cake. Hope that helps.